Hey class, welcome to lesson 7.7, which is all about multiplying polynomials. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to multiply polynomials by using the distributive property, and you should be able to multiply binomials by using the FOIL method. Quick review, I think you guys maybe started to touch on the FOIL method last year. Remember, it stands for first, outer, inner, and last. Make sure you know what each of those stands for because I'm going to say FOIL a lot, and if you don't remember what each letter stands for, you might get a little lost, okay? So let's start talking about what it looks like to multiply binomials, okay? So I'm going to teach you right away how to use the FOIL method, but I'm going to start by writing out the word FOIL. This is just to teach you. You don't have to do this, okay? So I take the first term in each of my set of parentheses. So I'm going to take 3m and m. I'm going to multiply them together. So I know 3m times m is going to give me 3m squared. So then I go back and I look, where are my outer terms? This is on the outside and this is on the outside. Okay, so I'm going to take 3m times 5. That's going to give me 15m. Then I take my inner terms, so the ones that I did not just use, and I say 4 times m, which is 4m. And then I take my last term in each set of parentheses, so that's 4 and 5, and I multiply those together. So I'm going to have 20. And then I go through and I say, okay, I need to add all of these together. So I have 3m squared plus 15m plus 4m. More often than not, you'll be able to combine these two numbers, okay? So 15 plus 4, that's going to give me 19m plus 20. So that is my final answer, okay? Like I said, as we do this more and more, I'm not going to expect you guys to write it out like this, but I think it's a great way for you to learn. Okay, so this time I'm going to start with my first terms. You'll often see me use these little lines to show you what numbers I'm multiplying together. So first I have 5y squared, and then I'm going to multiply my outer terms. So 5y plus 8 gives me 40y. Then I do my inner terms. I have a negative 2. Negative 2 times y is going to give me a negative 2y. And my last terms, negative 2, again, we have that negative, times 8 is a negative 16. So then I go through and I say I have a 5y squared. There's nothing to combine. Then 40y minus 2y is going to bring me down to 38y minus 16, and I am done. Okay? So if you draw the little lines, that's fine. I just want you to pick a method that helps you remember what each stands for and how to get there, okay? Go ahead and multiply these two binomials, see what you get. Hopefully for this first one you ended up with c squared minus 2c minus 8. If not, ask for some help. Try one more. Hopefully here you ended up with 4x squared plus 11x minus 3. Again, if that's not what you got, go back and rewatch the part of the video that we started with, and then also ask friends for help, ask me for help. Lots of options. Okay, so let's practice some more. I can do this method if I want. I'll do that on this first one, and then I'll do the other method. So my first terms, I have x times x, which gives me x squared. I have my outer terms, which is x times a negative 4, so negative 4x. My inner terms, 3 times x, which gives me 3x, and I have 3 times a negative 4. One of the most common mistakes I see people do is forget that there's a minus sign in front of it, so they treat it like a positive 4, and they forget about that negative sign there. Okay? And then I need to combine it, so I'm going to have x squared I'm going to do it in a different color so it's easier to tell. I'm going to have x squared, then minus 4x plus 3x. That's going to give me minus x minus 12 is my answer here. All right. This time I'm not going to write out FOIL. I'm just going to do my arrows. So I have 3 times 4 is 12, and b times b is b squared. 4b times 2 is going to give me a positive 8b. And then I have a negative 5 times 3b. It's going to give me a negative 15b. Negative 5 times 2 is going to give me a minus 10. If I combine like terms, I have 8b minus 15b. That's negative 7b minus 10. And I am done with that problem. Now I can move on over here. I have 2y times y, 2y squared. 2y times the negative 6 is minus 12y. Negative 5 times y is negative 5y. And negative 5 times 6 is plus 30. Okay, so we have 2y squared minus 17y plus 30. Okay, so hopefully doing so many of these is helping you see the pattern and will help you get through these a little bit quicker than you might start off at. 5a times 3 is going to give me 15a squared minus 5a times 4, which is minus 20a. 2 times 3a is going to give me a positive 6a. And 2 times the negative 4 is going to give me a negative 8. So I end with 15a squared. I combine my middle two terms. That's going to give me a negative 14a minus 8. And I am done. All right, go ahead and try to solve this one on your own. Hopefully you ended up with x squared minus x minus 6. If not, ask for some help. Try one more. Answer you should have gotten was 6x squared minus 8x minus 30. Again, if you have any questions, be sure to reach out for some help. Let's look at a word problem now. We were talking about a contractor who is building a deck around a rectangular swimming pool. Okay, so I'm going to draw myself a rectangular swimming pool. All right, and we're building a deck around that. Remember when it's word problems, a lot of you have been coming and asking for help lately, which is good, but a lot of times I usually tell you, start by drawing a picture. This is a prime example of where I would tell you, start by drawing a picture. Okay, so we have a swimming pool with a rectangular deck around it. The deck is x feet from every side of the pool. So I know that this distance is going to be x. Okay, on all sides. If the pool is 25 feet long, so this is going to be 25, and 20 feet wide, write an expression for the total area of the pool and deck. Then use the expression, to, write the expression for the total area of the pool and deck. Then use the expression to find the area of the pool and deck. So if we look at this length, we have 25, we have an x, we have an x. That makes up that entire length there. Okay, and my width starts with an x, goes for 20, and then goes x more. So if I want to find the area, I know that I need to multiply the length times the width because it's a rectangle. Okay, so what is my length? Here. My length is represented by, I have 2 x's plus 25 feet. My width, I have 2 x's plus my 20 feet. So my expression is going to be A equals 2x plus 25 times 2x plus 20. Now that we actually know how to multiply this out, I'm going to ask that you do that. So we're going to have A equals, And let's FOIL it. 2 times 2 is 4. X times x is x squared. 2x plus 20, that's going to give me plus 40x. 25 times 2x is going to be plus 50x. 25 times 20 is going to be 500. And then I just have to combine some like terms. So I have 4x squared plus 90x plus 500. And that would be the area of the pool and deck. Okay. Why don't you try one similar to that? Hopefully you ended up with 12x squared plus 11x plus 2 units squared. I forgot to label my answer on the last problem. Sorry about that. All right, our last example is taking it to that next level. We're going beyond FOIL, but we're going to use that same idea, okay? So I have this 3x, and what I have to do is distribute it to every term in my second set of parentheses, okay? So I have 3x times 2x squared. I have 3x times 7x. I have 3x times negative 8. I then also have to take my negative 5, and I'm going to do that same thing. So negative 5 times 7x and negative 5 times negative 8. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the very first one I have written. I have 3x times 2x squared. That's going to give me 6x cubed. And then 3x times 7x is going to be 21x squared. 3x times the negative 8 is negative 24x. Okay, so these are the answers I got from the first one. And then, if I keep going, negative 5 times positive 2x is negative 10x squared. Negative 5 times 7x is going to be negative 35x. And negative 5 times negative 8 is a positive 40. Now what I have to do is go through and combine like terms to write out my answer. I see I only have one x cubed, and that's my highest, so I'm going to start there. Okay, I'm done with that one. I have an x squared here, positive 21, and over here I have a negative 10x squared. So that's going to be plus 11x squared. I'm done with those. And then I have negative 24x and minus 35x. That's going to be negative 59x plus 40. Okay, and that's going to be my final answer. Okay, let's try with an even bigger problem where this time instead of just having 2 in the first set of first thing of parentheses, we have 3. Okay, so I'm going to have my m squared times 4m squared, my m squared times negative 7m, and my m squared plus 5. What I'm going to do is try using my drawing the line method. So m squared times 4m squared is going to give me 4m to the 4th. M squared times negative 7m is going to give me negative 7m cubed. And m squared times 5 is going to give me 5m squared. Okay, so I'm done with my very first term. Now let's move on to the next one. I have 2m times 4m squared. That is going to give me 8m cubed. 2m times negative 7m, negative 14m squared. 2m times 5 is going to give me 10m. I'm done now with my 2 terms. And I move on to my negative 3. Negative 3 times 4m is going to be negative 12m squared. Negative 3 times negative 7m is going to be a positive 21m. And negative 3 times a positive 5 is going to give me negative 15. Okay, now I have to go through, find my highest powers, and write it in standard form where you list it from greatest power to least power. So I have 4m to the 4th as my highest. So I'm done with that one. And then I see I have a cubed here and a cubed here. Okay, so I have a negative 7m cubed and a positive 8m cubed. So that is going to give me just 1m cubed I'm done with those. Now I'm looking for m squareds. So I have positive 5, negative 14. That's going to give me a negative 9m squared minus 12m squared. That brings me down to negative 21m squared. So I'm done with those. And then I have 10m plus 21m, which gives me 31m. I'm done with those. And I have a minus 15. I am officially done with rewriting it in standard form like that. Yes, I expect you to combine all like terms and write it in standard form, okay? Go ahead and try a problem on your own. Hopefully you ended up with 12z cubed plus 17z squared plus 21z plus 10. If not, ask for some help. And the last one for you to do, good luck. Hopefully you ended up with 12x to the fourth minus x cubed minus 8x squared minus 7x minus 2. Again, if you have any questions about that problem or anything else in the lesson, please be sure to reach out for some help. I'm more than happy to help you guys. Have a great night.